So I'm looking on McMaster for misalignment spacers. They don't have them, so I realize I just need to design this custom one, but I need to iterate on the one that I have. So rather than a 1.5 inch through bolt, I'm using a 1 inch through bolt. Checking McMaster to make sure that there's good grade 8 hex bolts and matching castle nuts for that on a 1 inch 14 thread pattern. Making sure I have good thicknesses everywhere, and then boom, I got a 30-degree angle. So plus or minus 30 degrees is going to be my max suspension angle, and I want the steering angle to match that. So putting these parts back in the assembly, they look a lot better than they did before. And then adjusting these dimensions so that I've got a 30-degree plus or minus on the steering. So now the lower control arm pivot is in the assembly, and I'm adjusting that through hole for the bolt, reducing my clearance cut angle to 30 degrees. And adding a little bit more radius to this cutout so that I have clearance for the lower control arm design. So I need to make a corresponding cut for the lower control arm to clear the portal hub in steering as well as suspension droop. So that's what this cutout represents. Playing around with those reference lines is super valuable, and making sure I have plenty of clearance. So I don't like those little ears there, so I'm going to cut those off. Checking my clearance, and then I need to cut off those little ears too. So now that's a nice looking part. I'm basically just chipping away at this thing as if I was imagining milling operations with different fixtures. So trying to get the height right on this thing to make sure all the geometry looks strong. And then getting ready for that first cut so that the look of the tall knuckle somewhat matches that of the Can-Am Maverick-R.